Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm not going to say anything official in regards to this, but I read something that said something along the lines of Gordon Hayward could potentially be bought out if the Celtics make a trade. Well, rather, not the Celtics, but if the Charlotte Hornets get involved in a Dame Lillard trade in any way, maybe in a three-way deal with the Celtics or a three-way deal with somebody else. If the Charlotte Hornets, for some reason, find themselves involved in that trade and Gordon Hayward lands with a team that doesn't want to pay his salary, he could be bought out. Some path to him being bought out, forget the trade aspect of it. Somehow, Gordon Hayward could potentially be found bought out. And if so, according to this loose rumor, the Lakers could be interested. For me, I say yeah. Yeah, if we can get him on a contract that's vet minimum, of course, that's a no-brainer. You definitely want him on your team. And so should all the other 30 teams in the NBA. Or 31 teams, however many teams it's in the league. I think it's what? We have 32 teams right now? I'll never know. We fluctuate between 30 and 32 in my lifetime. But the point is, if you can get Gordon Hayward on a vet minimum contract, he could be one of the best contracts out there. Because that dude is a lot better than really he's been able to show on those contracts that he's been on. Obviously, we remember him from the Boston Celtics. When he first came in, he was in the best shape of his life. He tried to catch a lob, came down, and his ankle just did some other stuff. It was horrible. And he ain't been right ever since. Upon drafting LaMelo Ball, Michael Jordan thought it was a good idea to pay him all the money in the world as if that injury never happened. I thought that was just asinine and stupid, and it turned out to be asinine and stupid. But that didn't mean Gordon Hayward wasn't awesome of a player. It just meant that he needed a couple years to get back into shape and then work his way back into what he was going to be going forward, which is a role player, not a star. But Gordon Hayward from Utah, Gordon Hayward in college, Gordon Hayward was a monster. Gordon Hayward was one of the best players in the league, one of the most complete players in the league. And at this point, if you have him playing like 15 minutes or 25 minutes a game, coming off the bench or something like that, or even in starting units as a role player next to Bron and AD, oh yeah, man, that vaults us into real championship contention, if you ask me. If we don't have to lose nothing and he isn't hurting our cap, he comes in at like $4 million or something, like $3 million, whatever would be the minimum. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. We should want him. But there are other teams who should want him even worse, or more rather, like the Miami Heat. If anybody could use Gordon Hayward, it's the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Denver Nuggets. I get this into even the Golden State Warriors. Any of these teams, I'm telling you right now, that video I made about guys who are washed up and can't play no more, Gordon Hayward ain't in that conversation for me. Gordon Hayward's one of them dudes that's just always on a bad contract, so you can never bring him to your team. Sort of like Duncan Robinson. If you can get Duncan Robinson on a contract that you want, that's a good shooter, man. All this talk about Buddy Hield, give me Duncan Robinson. I'd rather have him than Buddy Hield, to be honest. But not on the contract that he's always been on. And that's just what it is with Gordon Hayward and Duncan Robinson. They have always been overpaid 100% of the time. And they've never been able to live up to that. And they've never been able to be on a championship team because of their contracts. It's their contracts that get in the way of their teams being able to build something special. But if you just strip away the damn contract and just leave them as players who can have expectations based on what it is they could do, they're going to make your team better. And so I've been waiting for Gordon Hayward to finally be on a reasonable contract for about 6 years now. Of course, I want Gordon Hayward on this team. I'm a Gordon Hayward fan. I've been a Gordon Hayward fan since before he even got to the league. Back when him and Brad Stevens was running around, I think it was what? Baylor was the name of the school? I don't remember the name of the school, but I remember them too. So it's one of them situations where it's like, look, man, as long as my expectations don't have to be Gordon Hayward being an all-star or Gordon Hayward being a superstar starter or something like that, as long as I can just ask Gordon Hayward to be Gordon Hayward, he's going to hit open shots, he's going to get to the line, and he's going to do the things that he does as a high basketball mind. Very high IQ, very capable, and naturally athletic, even though a lot of that athleticism is gone. He should still be able to get up and down the court and do things that you need your wing to do. Maybe not defensively, but offensively, he's going to hit open shots. He's naturally gifted, always was. And so for me, it's like, yeah, of course. That's a no-brainer, man. Heck yeah. If you can just slot him in on the team, he might vault us into championship contention, to be honest with you. From where we are, which is probably championship contention. But I like us a lot better if we had Gordon Hayward on like a $2 million contract as just somebody else on the squad. There's another deep player, player that can help with our depth. Oh, yeah, man. Come on. Ain't nothing to talk about. Hell yeah. Bring him in quickly. Before anybody else gets him. That's my attitude about that. But if he's going to cost more than that, if he's going to be on a contract like he's on right now, then of course you stay away from him. That's just how it is. That's how it's always been with Gordon Hayward. He's very wealthy. So it shouldn't be nothing for him to come in and chase a ring now, man. You got all the money in the world, bro. It's time for you to come to a team and get a ring. But I think it's likely he'd probably go back to the Celtics or something like that. Probably to one of the teams he's already been on if he leaves Charlotte. But for me, if I can get Gordon Hayward in L.A. on a dirt cheap deal, of course. Of course. All he's going to do is help the team. All he's going to do is make guys like Max Christie and Max Lewis and those guys better. That's all he's going to do. Just push them in practice, be a coach on the floor, an easy-going locker room guy. I mean, that's a no-brainer, man. So, yes, if we can get Gordon Hayward on dirt cheap in a buyout situation, absolutely. If we're trading for him, absolutely not. As long as that contract doesn't come with him, yeah, for sure. BDO 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.